Welcome to the Honeymoon Mindset Podcast, discussing topics to give you tips and tools so you can choose to live your relationship with a honeymoon mindset. Here are your honeymoon mindset experts, James and Beth. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Wednesday edition of the Honeymoon Mindset Podcast. I am James. Hope you're having a great day, good weekend ahead. Boy, this is the third time I've tried recording this podcast today. Things just haven't been working out. Hopefully we got it figured out, got some bugs worked out, made some changes to the soundboard, some changes to the hosting site where we put the podcast to get it out to you guys. So there's a lot of technical work that we do behind the scenes, or I have to do behind the scenes. But it's all good. I enjoy it. How do you talk to your partner? In a relationship, communication is huge. Communication is key to making a honeymoon mindset relationship. It takes time, takes effort. Sometimes I think it takes way too much work. Because there's times when I'm talking to Beth and I'll be making perfectly sense in my mind and understanding what I'm saying, but she'll just look at me and it's like, what are you talking about? What are you saying? Same thing, Beth will be talking and I was like, I hate to say this, but I didn't understand a single word you said. How can you not? I used English. I used smaller words so you can understand, James. It's like, I know, thank you, but what are you talking about? What are you saying? So sometimes when I'm talking to Beth and she doesn't understand, I'm not communicating her style. Did you know there's a communication style? There's three main ones. There's like 5 total, but the 3 main ones are visual, auditory, and kinesthetics. Visual, you'll use your hands, motions. The other thing is with the words you say is I see, saw, far, long. You use visual terminology. Auditory, I hear, I heard. Oh, when you said this, your voice. Auditory words. Words that have more sound qualities to them, or words that have more of a sound meaning to them. Kinesthetics, I feel, I touch. Sometimes they also touch the heart, the arms when they're talking. They're more hands-on, or they'll touch you when they're talking. Kinesthetics, they like touch. There's also smell and gustatory, mouth taste, how things taste, smell, salty, bitter, sour, I think I said that, salty, bitter, pungent for scent, foul, sweet, because we like that stuff in our minds when we've communicated when we're younger. And sometimes it goes down to heritage. Sometimes it goes down to culture as well. So sometimes when I'm listening to Beth, she's not understanding me. It's like, okay, well, I'll stop and think, how else can I say it? Do I need to change some of the words, how I say it? Sometimes I got to figure out, okay, what is her communication style? For me, I think I'm more of a visual communicator. My wife, I think she's more of a auditory. So thinking that, or knowing that, I got to put in more terms sometimes when she doesn't understand words that have to deal with auditory, hear, heard, stuff like that. So how do you know? Plus the other thing is when I'm saying it and she doesn't understand, it's like, okay, does it have to do with my tone? Does it have to do with my body language? Because that makes a difference too. Most of us have seen the graph or heard it or some sort of chart somewhere, because we all work for companies. We have all had jobs where they've had how to communicate to one another training, communication training, and conflict resolution management. And communication is usually one of the key components of that conflict resolution. It is helping people understand that only 7% of what you're said is actually heard. The other 93% is made up of your tone and your body language. How you hold yourself. That's 55%. 38% is the tone. Are you talking slow, fast? angry, gruff, high, low, makes a difference too. And your body language. That's why one thing with emojis, somebody told me this a week or so ago, emojis helps add body language to your text when you're texting and communicating online and stuff and typing. I never thought of it. I always thought they were annoying. Okay, downright stupid at times too, but they're fun seeing when you get a text with them in there. But when somebody said that, it's like, oh, yeah, that does make sense. That is a very valid point because we rely on that. But don't rely just on tone and body language. Human nature is way too good, or I should say our brains are way too good at assuming things. It's one of the things that the amygdala, where information comes or things happen, experience happens, goes to your amygdala and process things out. First things, it compares things, deletes things you don't like or need, and then it categorizes it from there. And one thing is it assumes and then it generalizes. Well, we're so good at assuming. We do it so quickly. Sometimes we do it and we're wrong. Most of the times we're wrong. I know I am. One of my favorite things I like to do is go to the mall, park, amusement park, or somewhere. Even at a high school sports game, if I'm there, a sports game, you sit and watch people, try to figure out what they're saying and what they're doing. It's fun. Even some of those comedy shows or stand-up comedy shows, like Whose Line Is It? Or American Funniest Video. That's one thing they're doing, is they're ad-libbing words to what is actually being said or done with the body language and tone. And it's fun to do. And sometimes you can pick up a lot about people too. But when you do that with your partner, they don't feel heard. They don't feel listened to. Sometimes they may not even know they're doing it, and you're just assuming something. I know there's times where I say something, and Beth has said, when you say something like that, and you put that body language or that tone to it, you sound like you're really pissed off. Like, no, I didn't mean it that way at all. And what she's doing, she's not being mean. She's not being rude. She's not being argumentative. She's trying to help me be aware of the way I say things and how I do it. I'm more of a visual communicator. That's my style. And when I'm a visual communicator, a lot of times I can add things to it when I listen as well. Visual, hear things. Beth is more auditory. So when I hear things from Beth and she's talking and knowing that, I can put it in terms of how I would see it, pretty much. So if Beth says, I hear the birds are singing really pretty today outside. Hear a bird sing pretty. Okay, birds singing here. Okay, I can see birds, I can see them chirping. So I understand what she's saying because I put a picture to it. I make it visual. Just saying the other way. Oh, the birds outside are singing pretty. Oh, she's probably hearing songs. She's hearing tunes because she's auditory of what a bird sounds like. When we do that, we're connecting on a level. We're helping each other understand what we're saying. Now, when we're in a deep discussion, we try not to rely on body language and tone. Because like I just said, there's times where I'm saying something. She says, no, you come across angry or upset, frustrated. It's like, no. And there's times where Beth will say something. She's just responding to a question. Well, what would you like to do? Nothing. Or I don't know. I take it, okay, didn't mean to upset or irritate you, so I ask her, are you irritated? Did I upset you with that question? No. Why do you ask? Because that's how it came across. Well, I didn't mean it that way. I know you didn't mean it that way. But that's how it came across to me. That's what I heard. So I try to listen to what she's saying. She listens to what I'm saying. If you're not sure what your communication style is, listen to the 5-6 words of when you start a conversation or when you respond to your partner. A lot of times that 5-6 words will tell you what you are because that's going to be in there. Ask your partner to help you figure it out and help your partner figure out what their communication style is. When you figure out your communication style, you can actually hear more of that 7% of words being spoken to each other. When we rely on tone and body language, a lot of times we get it wrong because we're assuming. We're adding what is actually being said or the meaning of what's being said when we hear it. Like I said, only 7% is the actual meaning of what's being said. And when you can learn how to put your tone and your nonverbals together with that stuff, you can become a whole lot more better communicator with your partner. No, it's not easy. No, you're not going to do it all the time because the Lord knows I don't. And I've been doing this for over 2 years now, working on it, trying to perfect it. And I'm far from being perfect. And I don't expect any of you to be either. But I know enough to say, oh, I hear what you're saying. I'm sorry. I hear what you're saying now. Oh, okay. Or I know when she says something's the right way, I perceive it or assuming and taking it the wrong way, I stop. I'm silent. I listen to what she's saying to make sure I heard what she's saying. And the other thing you can do is communicate it back. This is what I heard. I see you are saying this. I see means it's me because I'm a visual learner. And that word I see helps put in. I see you're saying this. And Beth can go, yeah, that's what I'm saying. No, I'm saying it this. But is this what you mean? Yeah, okay. So I'm understanding what you're saying. Yeah, you are. And vice versa. We have these kind of conversations. Sometimes it seems like we're in junior high. But we do that to make sure we're hearing each other. I want Beth to hear me. I want Beth to know that I care what I'm saying. It's important to what I'm saying. And then when she does hear me, I feel respected. I feel worthy to her and worthy of her, and vice versa. Communicating effectively can be very hard at times, especially going in and out. It's a rush day, panic day. Kids are doing whatever, busy schedule, school starting, things to do, relatives coming over, guests popping in, bake sales get ready for. How many of you had a day like that? Communication is sparse or quick and short and to the point. And you're just overwhelmed and frustrated, and all of a sudden that comes across. You didn't mean to. We humans are creatures of habit. We do things without thinking. We throw our communication style in there, and we have body languages that don't match up with what we're saying. Closing off your body language, if it's closed off, your shoulders are in or down, not up and back, open type feeling, warm, fuzzy. A lot of your body language comes from your facial expressions. What does your face look like when you're saying stuff? Yeah, you got 5 things going on at once, and your partner wants to know what's for dinner or what they need to grab at the store. Yeah, you're going to be a little frustrated or come across that way. Did you mean to? No, of course not. You're just trying to help them get what you need at the store. They understand you're frustrated, upset, and you don't want to be. Ask your partner when you get back. Hey, I know you had 5 things at once. I wasn't trying to frustrate it. Is that how you meant what you said when I left? No. I know that's happened. I realized that. The other thing is you realized that she communicated this way. You knew she was swamped, and you're verifying. Okay? When you do that, you're acknowledging what's going on in your partner's life at that moment. And you're trying to verify what they said and how you received it. What is said and how you receive it. Like I said, it goes down to your communication style. Are you auditory, visual, kinesthetic? Which makes up how you say it. Or what is perceived in the meaning through the words, tonality, and body language. All those working hand in hand. I hated sitting in those classes when I worked for the government and the airlines, and we had all these conflict resolution meetings and trainings and how to communicate properly and how to understand. You don't know this, you don't. It's like, okay. But now that I've been studying this for 2 years, it makes a whole lot more sense. And now that I've been trying to practice what I'm preaching, it makes a whole lot more sense. Because I've had time to see how it all goes together. How to become a more effective communicator with my partner. And unfortunately, like I said, Beth and I both were on our second marriage. We've both been married before. I can see where I failed my first wife as a communicator and given up. I can see where I should ask more clarifying questions because I assumed. And way back when I started assuming, started creating my insecurities, my lack of self-worth, self-respect, self-love. And when I started dealing with some of my communication errors and mishaps, I had to go back way then and figure out what happened then. Even when I was a kid, we start assuming things as kids. It's a natural thing. When we start to communicate like better and start to realize and start dealing with this, one thing Kimberly Mullins, she's the wonderful lady that co-hosts Mondays, Honeymoon Mindset with Kids. Yeah, you got to deal with this stuff in the past too. No, we're not living in the past. We're dealing with the past. We're changing those meanings so they don't affect us anymore, or they affect us a whole lot less. They're going to still rear their ugly heads. But a lot of times when we go back and we deal with them now, it makes us a better communicator for now and in the future. And so when we do that, we can change who we are, we can change how we communicate with our partner, and we also can change how we understand what we're hearing. Because there's times where I've heard stuff from my first wife, it's like, why did I do that? That was totally on me, and I blew it up on her. Same with my kids. Same with my stepkids. You gotta deal with the past with your communication style. Because it will show you what you've done and how you've done it in the past. And you're like, okay, no. And now, when I catch myself, I can go back to stuff with Beth and say, okay, this is what happened. Wait a minute. Nope. That's not what happened in the past. When she said this stuff in the past, nope, that's just my insecurities firing off. That's just my communication skills in the past coming back to haunt me. No, I don't think like that. I don't communicate like that anymore. This is how I communicate. And if I don't understand, I ask. Sometimes when I communicate with Beth, instead of just saying, what'd you do that for? What'd you mean? No, that's attacking. No. Hey, Beth, I didn't understand what you said or what you meant by this. Can you explain it to me one more time, please? Or, Beth, I didn't understand what you were saying. This is what I heard. Did I hear you correctly? Now it's on me versus, why'd you say that for? I don't care what it's different tone. It's different. I'm more relaxed. I'm more open. I'm more vulnerable. And I'm being honest with what I heard. I'm not attacking. I'm not judging. I'm not belittling Beth. And I put it back to what I heard C, and then I rephrase things into her communication style. I'm trying to put more emphasis on the words that are actually said and make the body language and the tone match up with what was said. And if it doesn't, then I ask questions and I make sure with what I say, with the words. When you get to know somebody, you will know their language, they'll know their intricacies, intricates of how they are. If I butchered that, I'm sorry. And you communicate even more effectively. Communicating effectively with your partner builds a stronger relationship, deeper relationship, and help creates that honeymoon mindset that we all want. Communication style, you can hear it in the first 5 to 6 words, like I said, of a statement. Listen to each other. Talk to each other. Help each other understand what your or their communication style is. So you can put more emphasis on what is actually said, that 7%. And when you do that, that 7% will grow. Tone will go down. Body language will go down. Because when we go off body language and tonality, you're going to be wrong more times than you're actually going to be right. So we need to get better at listening to what the actual words are said and how they're said. Or not how they're said, but what they're said. And what their communication style really is. And when we do that, you're actively listening. You're telling your partner, I love you, I care about you. What are you actually saying? Not what I think you're saying. Thank you for listening to Honeymoon Mindset. Remember, listen to those first 5-6 words. Hear what your partner is actually saying with their words, not with their tone or body language. Look at your past. When they say this is what it is, and you will see. And how do you want to change it for the future? Anything else, please, you want to talk more about this? Shoot me an email. DM me in Facebook or Instagram, passionatelifementors.com. Love to hear from you. Thank you. You have a great day.